He drops back, throws.
No!
It's intercepted.
Hello, boys and girls. I am Flipper55 with Fat Finger Gaming, and welcome to Fat Finger Gaming's Week 9 recap for the 2015 season. As we will take a quick look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this week we have a theming bonus. The theming bonus is you could have watched all these games on Twitch with me live. So, without further ado, let's get to the recap. For the good, it's going to be Trevor Boykin and the TCU Horned Frogs. Number 9 TCU is hosting the number 20 West Virginia Mountaineers. Surprising team that has been led by Skylar Howard. It was Skylar Howard and the West Virginia Mountaineers. They got up 7-0. But this little screen pass out to BJ Catalone where he breaks one tackle, two tackles, muscles his way into the end zone. Will tie the game at 7 apiece. On the ensuing drive, Skylar Howard will drop back. He will throw. It'll bounce off the back of the tackle shorts. Free safety. We'll get a little closer look at it. The free safety, Derek Kindred, after it bounces off the back of shorts, will try to pick it up. It'll bounce over to Dreamia Smith, and Smith will actually basically pick it off of his toe for the completion. Definitely one of the on the wilder sides of plays I've seen that later leads to a touchdown for West Virginia. And West Virginia, once again, Skylar Howard will connect with Cody Clay for this 18-yard touchdown and put West Virginia up 24-10. But here comes the Horny Toads, boys and girls. Trevor Boykin will find Jordan Moore in the flats, and he will take it in 13 yards for the touchdown, cutting the lead to 7. Then Boykin dropping back, throws to Listenby. He will break the tackle of Terrell Chestnut and take it into the end zone, tying the ball game at 24. But TCU will not be done just yet. Trayvon Boykin will drop back, will throw into the end zone to an open Listenby in the back of the end zone for a touchdown, getting TCU the first lead of the game. And they will go into the half up 31-24. More Trayvon Boykin and TCU to come. Trayvon Boykin heaves this ball up into the back of the end zone and will find Colby Listenby again for another touchdown. Third on the day. More Trayvon Boykin to come. It fakes a handoff, rolls half right, throws back across his body and hits Josh Stockton as he goes out at the 25-yard line of West Virginia. Then another little throw to Josh Stockton on the sidelines takes him down within the 10-yard line. Proving that TCU can do other things than just pass the ball around. This is going to be BJ Catalone taking it 10 yards down to the goal line and finally finishing it off with a touchdown, bringing the TCU lead 45-27. Trayvon Boykin isn't done yet as he moves around in the pocket and will throw the ball down and into the end zone. A nice sidelines catch by Jordan Moore for the touchdown. Trayvon Boykin putting up more yardage. Another throw, this time to Dante Gray. That'll put them up 59-27. West Virginia adds a meaningless touchdown, and the TCU Horned Frogs will defend their home field with a nice 59-34 win over West Virginia. Quick little look here at Trayvon Boykin. 37 completions on 48 attempts, 565 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The bad, as in badass. Yes, I'm going to keep it up till somebody can physically stop me from doing it. Well, once again, it will go to Auburn's defense. Second straight week. This week, it'll come against Ole Miss, traveling to Auburn for a nice little matchup here. Though Auburn wins, they can keep tied for the lead in the SEC West. As we go onto the field, we're going to pick up exactly where we left off with Arkansas and Auburn with a 3-and-out from Ole Miss. Auburn returns it up to the 48-yard line. Jeremy Johnson will then take it in from 8 yards out to put the Auburn Tigers up 7-0. Later on, we'll pick it up midway through the second quarter, tied at 10 apiece. A 3-and-out. We'll give Auburn the ball at their own 35-yard line. So what can Jeremy Johnson do with this? Well, Jeremy Johnson will take it 20 yards downfield out of the 43-yard line. And Jeremy Johnson will take it 10 yards downfield to the 33. Look at this, a drive. Peyton Barber down the sidelines, out at the 3-yard line. They're driving the ball. Peyton Barber stopped at the 1-yard line. There's going to be a penalty. They're going to make him 5 yards back. Peyton Barber will be stuck at the 5. 3rd and goal. Peyton Barber again. An inch. This leaves 4th and inches. This leaves Auburn 4th down and inches away from probably the longest drive in Auburn history. The handoff to Peyton Barber, and he is stuffed. Auburn has to turn over the ball on downs, but never fear, the defense is here. And after Ole Miss just being able to pick up 1 first down, they will punt the ball, and Auburn will be able to take over at the 44-yard line. Very important here because we can tell they can't drive in the 35. But what about the 44? They've done it before as Jeremy Johnson takes it down to the 36 on a nice run. Jeremy Johnson looks for Duke Williams down to the 25-yard line. Jeremy Johnson throws over the middle once again to Duke. He will take it down inside the 6-yard line. And later, Peyton Barber will take it in from 1 yard out and give Auburn a 17-10 lead. Now to be outdone by Jeremy Johnson, the nation's 5th best passer, Chad Kelly gets his Ole Miss Rebels running down the field. This nice scamper up the middle brings it down at about the 20-yard line. Chad Kelly drops back. This time we'll hit Cody Core. Cody Core takes it down to the 10-yard line. Chad Kelly, fake handoff to Walton. Takes it down inside the 2-yard line, where Walton will finish it off with a little scamper into a wide open hole. Tying the game up 17 apiece. Late in the 3rd quarter, Auburn driving handoff to Peyton Barber. Breaks a tackle up through the middle, down to the 30-yard line, but he fumbles. Ole Miss will recover. Ole Miss ball, 17 apiece, but wait a second. We're going to review this one, and you can clearly see his knee is down before that ball pops out. So Ole Miss, almost with a stop, can't get it. Later on that drive, it's going to be Jeremy Johnson, about 6. And that will give Auburn a 24-17 lead going into the 4th quarter. Now in the 4th quarter, it's time for Chad Kelly to respond. 3rd and 16 on their own 33-yard line. Chad Kelly will drop back, just hit a little screen pass to Walton. Sure enough, Auburn should be there, but they're not. They will just barely get him, but not after he gets the first down. So Chad Kelly will throw. This time will hit Evan Ingram for the first down on the 32-yard line. From the Auburn 15, Chad Kelly's going to drop back. He's going to need a little more time. He'll break Gilmore President's tackle, but Justin Garrett will finish him off with a sack. 2nd and 21 from the Auburn 25. Chad Kelly will drop back. He'll try to run it, but Devontae Lambert will grab him from behind and bring him down for another sack. 3rd and 28 from Auburn's 24. Chad Kelly will try another screen pass to pick up the long 3rd down, but this time, boom! Devontae Lambert is there again. 4th and 29 from Auburn's 34-yard line. Ole Miss looking for a miracle to tie this ball game. Chad Kelly drops back, throws looking deep for Cody Core. He's got it! No! Jonathan Jones rips the ball away! Auburn's defense steps up amazingly and rips the ball away. After that, Ole Miss could not even get out of their own territory as Auburn's defense stamps the victory home, 34-24. As Auburn stays tied for the SEC West lead. The ugly, and oh God, was it ugly. Georgia, Florida, playing in Jacksonville. I made the joke going into that Twitch broadcast that this would be the best football Jacksonville would have ever seen. I was wrong. Apparently, anybody who shows up to that stadium plays like a Jaguar. Early on, we did not have too much of an indication of how bad the offenses were going to be. Late in the 1st quarter, Jeff Driscoll will drop back, throw it downfield to Marcus Robinson. He will take it down to about the Georgia 10-yard line. Then Jeff Driscoll will hand off to Kelvin Taylor. He will take it inside the 5-yard line, and he will finish it off by stumbling his way into the end zone. There is the foreshadowing of the stumbling offenses to come. Georgia looking to answer. We'll throw a quick little smoke route to Justin Scott Wesley. He'll be out at about the 39-yard line. Bata again throws this time to Blake Tibbs. Georgia's offense looking pretty good. Handoff to Keith Marshall. Gets it down to the 20-yard line. Another handoff to Keith Marshall. He's going to take it down to the 5-yard line. Keith Marshall's going to take it to the outside. This time, Antonio Morrison's going to hit him and fumble the ball. It's going to be Alex McAllister who picks up the ball. Rumbling, whatever you got to say. Can he make it to the end zone? No! Tackled down to the 15-yard line. Sure enough, Florida's going to take this in for a touchdown. I don't think so. Jeff Driscoll drops back, gets hit, he fumbles, and Georgia will recover on their own 25-yard line, effectively whitewashing that turnover with the exception of Georgia not being able to get points off of it. So we find ourselves at halftime. Florida 7, Georgia nothing. Second play of the second half. Bata will drop back. He will throw. And it will be picked off by All-American Vernon Hargraves. Takes it down to the 40-yard line. And in the immortal words of Vince Lombardi, what the hell is going on out there? However, Florida was not able to get any points from it. And we find ourselves in the fourth quarter. Florida up 7-3. Handoff to Marshall. He shoves his way up to the 30-yard line. Bata drops back. Hits Kenneth Towns for a nice reception. Bata drops back. Hits George Davis for a reception. Bata drops back. Hits Malcolm Mitchell for his first reception of the ball game. And folks, we are in 5 minutes left to go in the game. Bata drops back. Hits Jay Moore. He breaks a tackle and will take it the rest of the way into the end zone. And we finally have a Georgia touchdown with 5 minutes left to go in the game. Georgia up 10-7. Florida Gators trying to recapture the lead. Jeff Driscoll throws a little smoke route to DeMarcus Robinson. He'll take it 9 yards. Driscoll again throws a smoke route, this time to Pittman. He'll get the first down. Driscoll fake handoff, drops back, looks, throws. Pittman's got it across the 50-yard line into Georgia territory down to the 45-yard line. Driscoll throws again. This time he gets it down to the 32-yard line. Driscoll drops back, decides this time he's going to run it. He's going to bring it down to the 10-yard line. And worst case scenario, they're in there for a field goal to tie the game. Best case scenario, they walk away with a touchdown and lead this game. Jeff Driscoll, fake handoff, breaks one tackle, takes it down, and Leonard Floyd will hit him from behind. The ball will pop out. Jordan Jenkins will recover for Georgia. And Georgia will have the ball at their own 5-yard line. And the best offensive drive they had all day was coming up this final drive in which they just pounded the ball down the field, ran out the clock, and walk away from Jacksonville with a 10-7 fugly win. Before I take you to the new top 25, let me first show you the recruiting battle for Craig Mills again. As you can see, Notre Dame has now taken the lead. Washington in second. Michigan, without their visit yet, is 1,000 points hanging back. And let me tell you something, after watching them against Minnesota, they need this guy, because what in the world is this? As for the other outside linebacker, it really looks like it's going to be Wisconsin. So your new top 25. Last week, what I saw, all except 2 of the top 25 teams actually won. Those 2 that lost were playing 2 higher ranked opponents. So everything basically went according to plan with the exception of this. Yes, Miami has jumped to number 2 over Oregon, who is now number 3. Let me tell you something, since I am my own selection committee, if Oregon wins out, goes undefeated, I don't care what any of those other teams do, Oregon will take the number 1 spot in the playoffs. Rounding out your top 5 is 2 Big Ten teams. So there are 3 Big Ten teams at the top 25 in top 5. Michigan State, Ohio State will have to play each other. I believe it's week 12. USC, Oregon, I believe, was playing that same week. We We go down to Baylor, Arkansas, basically dead in the water at this point with Jonathan Williams down, Brandon Austin down. Let's just roll in the second stringers and see if Arkansas can actually win one more game. TCU flashing some brilliance there, staying at 9. Arizona undefeated, the lowest ranked undefeated Power 5 team. It doesn't matter. Arizona will be playing USC on Twitch this Thursday night. It will be the third game, so that anybody on the West Coast, it'll be prime time for the West Coast. It'll be somewhere around midnight, maybe just before midnight would be the kickoff. But definitely if you tune in at midnight, you will definitely be seeing some part of that game or the start of that game. I encourage you to join me on Twitch. This good, bad, and the ugly. You could have seen every single game with me live, listen to my banter, enjoy the chat, yada, yada, yada. Twitch is a lot of fun to sit there and watch live games with people. And when you can't watch the live games, then you just sit here and watch YouTube. Anyways, Louisville, 7-1, along with Notre Dame, 13-14 respectively. Louisville really hoping Miami goes undefeated. Louisville obviously hoping they win out. A undefeated Miami team and a one-loss Louisville team in the ACC championship. I can guarantee the winner of that goes to the college football playoffs. Navy, 6-0. Still doesn't have a shot to go to the playoffs because I could care less. I cannot allow this team. They did beat Notre Dame, I know, and I got to go back and forth about that. But I can't allow this team into the playoffs. Maybe. I don't know. I may soften up, but I can't. Because the thing is, I'd have to bump somebody like Auburn, which I know Auburn would absolutely torch them. Virginia Tech, 8-1. UAB hasn't played. They're going to be ranked 18th. We'll fix all that by the end of the season. Florida State 6-2. Oklahoma 7-1. How is it? The good news for Oklahoma, they will play TCU and Baylor. They win those two games. They jump up. The bad news for Oklahoma is they've got to get to them before TCU and Baylor lose any more upsets and get further back. Texas A&M, one of the best teams in the SEC West. They take on Auburn on Twitch. Unfortunately, by the time you see this, that Monday night Twitch will probably be over. Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech actually have a game coming up here. Not this week, but the next. That'll be an interesting game for the Coastal Division. Bama, Mississippi State, West Virginia, rounding out the top 25. There's the only loss that actually stayed on the top 25 there, West Virginia. And boy, did they get pounded. Before I leave you, let's have a little bit of a Heisman Watch update. Braxton Miller stays on top. B.J. Catalone stays in second. Corey Clement stays in third. Royce Freeman and now Nick Wilson have moved up. Royce Freeman has moved up to fourth. Nick Wilson has moved up from the fifth position. So only all three of the undefeated teams. I guess we got 5 undefeated teams. Well, whatever. If you're undefeated and you're running back, you have a good chance of being in the running for the Heisman. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your subscriptions. Why do I appreciate your subscriptions? Well, because we are trying to beat the dog here. A Shih Tzu is still beating me by a landslide. I need subscriptions because I need to beat this dog. My one and only goal in my life at this point in time. I don't know what I'm going to do when we actually beat the dog. I will probably meander aimlessly through forests, over mountains, trying to find the meaning of life after this. But right now I have one focused goal: beat the dog. As for Twitch, I without a doubt encourage you to stop by the 8:45 kickoffs. This is going to be the last Thursday until the end of the football season. We then, next week, will go Monday and Wednesday, 8:45 Eastern Time for live action here. We always go through 3 games. Twitch schedule is broadcast. Have fun. Come enjoy the Twitch chat. You can even put in you can even talk about which game you actually want. It is not just because I put it on the schedule does not mean we're actually going to play it. If we have an SEC night planned and ACC fans show up, if we got some ACC games, we'll play them. So, thanks for watching. I hope you are enjoying the live coverage along with the YouTube coverage. I hope you're just enjoying, because I know I am. Y'all have fun.